Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. This is Miraj Kamran and you are watching Explore Chemistry. Today we are going to solve AKUEB HSSC paper 1 September examination paper year 2011. So this is 40 minutes paper of 30 marks. So let's start this paper. You won't get answer key of this paper anywhere, so therefore we are solving it here. Question number 1 is what volume of hydrogen will be liberated at STP when 20 grams of calcium react with excess of water in the given reaction, and this is the equation for the reaction. Now you need to find out volume of hydrogen. If you need to find out volume of hydrogen, you need to find moles of hydrogen which are reacting, which are producing in this reaction, because we have a relationship between moles and volume. So for finding moles of hydrogen, 20 grams of calcium are given. So this is the mass of calcium. From mass of calcium you can find mass of hydrogen, and from moles of calcium you can find moles of hydrogen. So you have two options: either you convert this mass into moles, mass of calcium into moles, or you calculate mass of hydrogen from mass of calcium directly and then convert that mass of hydrogen into moles. या तो आप पहले कन्वर्जन कर लें इसी मास की मोल्स में, या फिर मास टू मास फाइंड करने के बाद उस मास की कन्वर्जन कर लें मोल्स में. इट्स अप टू यू. सो आई एम कन्वर्टिंग दिस mass into moles. 20 gram mass divided by molar mass of calcium, which is 40 gram, it will be 0.5. So now 0.5 moles of calcium are reacting in this equation, and according to the equation we have 1 mole of calcium which is equals to 1 mole of hydrogen gas, and if you have 0.5 moles you will get 0.5 moles of hydrogen. Now you have 0.5 moles, you have to convert these moles into volume. We have a relation: 1 mole of any substance is equals to 22414 centimeter cube volume. We have this relation, so 0.5 moles will be equal to, you just have to multiply 0.5 with this conversion factor 22414. Your answer is 1120, means option number 3 is the correct answer of this MCQ. If you will do this numerical from other method, which I have told you earlier, that first you calculate mass of hydrogen and convert mass into number of moles, then use this relation, the answer will be the same. Next question is, if 24 grams of carbon and 32 grams of oxygen are allowed to react to form carbon dioxide, the limiting reactant is identified to be. Now here you have to do some calculations again. Carbon, you need to write the balanced equation: carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. So this is the balanced equation. According to this equation, 12 gram of carbon is producing 44 gram of carbon dioxide, because this 12 gram is the mass of carbon. It is the mass of carbon, and this 12 gram is producing 44 gram, which is the molar mass of carbon dioxide. So according to the question, 24 grams will produce, here we need to do unitary method calculations. 44 divided by 12 multiply by 24, which is given in the question, so you will get 88 grams. So from 24 grams of carbon you will get 88 grams carbon dioxide. So mass of carbon dioxide which has been produced from 24 gram carbon is carbon dioxide. Now let's calculate mass of carbon dioxide which is produced from 32 gram of oxygen. So according to this balanced equation, 32 gram is the mass of oxygen. So 32 gram oxygen is producing 44 gram carbon dioxide according to this equation, and in question 32 gram is given, so it will definitely produce 44 gram. So from oxygen 44 gram carbon dioxide has been produced, and from carbon 88 gram carbon dioxide has been produced. Less amount of product is produced by oxygen, so oxygen is the limiting reactant here, so correct answer is oxygen. Now next question is, which of the following will be the volume occupied by 1.5 exponent 23 molecules of methane at STP? Again you have to find volume. For volume you need to calculate number of moles. You have number of molecules of methane, you have to find number of moles. The formula is number of moles, number of molecules is equals to number of moles multiplied by Avogadro's number. This symbol is of Avogadro's number, Na. So you have number of molecules, you need to find number of moles. Just divide this number of molecules with Avogadro's number, so you will get 1.505 exponent 23 divided by Avogadro number is 6.02 exponent 23. Your answer is 0.25. 0.25 moles you are getting, and from 1 mole you can get 22.414 decimeter cube. From 0.25 moles, how many decimeter cubes or volume you will obtain? Just multiply this value with 22.414. You will get the answer in decimeter cube. If you have to get the answer in centimeter cube, you will multiply with 22414. So your answer is 5.6 decimeter cube. So this is the correct answer of this MCQ. Now next question number 4 is, a set of quantum numbers is given below. Which of the following electrons shows the highest energy? Highest energy is shown by orbital or subshell. As you know, these two belongs to fourth shell, so these two must be having highest energy. But this one belongs to 3D, and for third shell, if the value of azimuthal quantum number is 2, it represents D subshell, and 3D is having highest energy as compared to 4s. These two are representing 4s because 0 represent, if azimuthal quantum number value is 0, means it is representing s orbital. So 4s is having low energy as compared to 3D. So this will be the correct option. This one is having highest energy. This is showing 3s. So 3s is also having low energy. So this one will be the correct answer. Number 5, which of the following is the correct ground state electronic configuration of Fe+3 with atomic number 26? This is the iron ion. The electronic configuration for iron atom is 3d6 4s2. This is the electronic configuration of atom, neutral atom, for 26 electrons. Now this is +3 charged ion, so electrons will be removed from 4s first. While filling the electrons, as you all know 4s की energy कम है, so first electrons will go in 4s, then in 3d. but after filling electrons, 4s energy will become equals to 3d energy of 3d. So when removing electrons, first electrons will be removed from valence shell, that is 4s. So first of all these two electrons will be removed, then one electron from 3d will be removed. So its valence shell electronic configuration will be 3d5. This is representing argon's electronic configuration, which contains 18 electrons. So 18 plus 5, it will make 23 electrons, and iron plus 3 charged ion is having 23 electrons. Next question is, if boron is bonded with 3 halogen atoms, which state of hybridization will exist in the boron atom? Boron is attached with 3 hydrogen atoms, means there are 3 hybridized orbitals, and 3 hybridized orbitals are present in case of sp2. 1s and 2p orbitals are present in sp2. So there are total 3 hybridized orbitals. In case of sp1, 2 hybridized orbitals are formed. In case of sp3, 4 hybridized orbitals are formed. So 3 hydrogen atoms are attached, means there are 3 hybridized orbitals, and hybridization will be sp2. This will be the correct answer. And boron, whenever it will be bonded with hydrogen or halogen, so it is written halogen atoms. Whenever it will be bonded with halogen atoms, it takes trigonal planar shape, and in trigonal planar geometry, hybridization is always sp2. Number 7, if the dipole moment of CCl4 is 0, the bond angle are expected to be approximately. In case of CCl4, there are 4 bond pairs and 0 lone pairs, therefore dipole moment is 0, there is no lone pair present here. For 4 bond pairs, the molecular geometry is tetrahedral, where angle is 109.5. So this is the correct answer, because in question it is written approximately. So approximately it is 109. Next is the hybridization of sulfur in sulfur dioxide is. Sulfur, whenever it makes sulfur dioxide, 2 oxygen atoms are connected through double covalent bonds, and in case of double covalent bond, hybridization is sp2. So sp2 hybridization is present in sulfur in case of sulfur dioxide. Just like carbon, whenever carbon makes double covalent bond, hybridization is sp2. When it makes triple covalent bond, hybridization is sp1, and when carbon makes single covalent bond, hybridization is sp3. So here in sulfur dioxide, double bond is present, so hybridization is sp2. Number 9, which of the following pairs are determined rate of diffusion? Okay, this question is related to gases chapter, which is not included in this year's SLOs. So question number 9, 10 and 11 also are related to gases. Now this one is related to liquids. Vapor pressure of liquid is independent of, it depends on temperature, it depends on pressure, it depends on intermolecular forces also, but amount of liquid is not dependent on vapor pressure, it is not having any effect on vapor pressure. Number 13, by applying pressure on crystals, the solid crystals break into small crystals resembling the large crystals along the plane. This process is called as cleavage is the correct answer, because crystalline solids are having fixed cleavage plane. Number 14, which of the following liquids has a strong adhesive force of attraction, where surface tension has been represented in this liquid, so it is all having strong forces. B is the correct answer. Number 15, which of the following relationships correctly represent the reaction? In this reaction, number of moles of reactants and number of moles of products are equal. 2 moles of reactants and 1 plus 1, 2 moles of products. Delta N value is 0 over here. and whenever delta n value is 0, Kp is always equals to Kc. So this is the correct answer. The equilibrium constant for the reaction is represented as if the concentration of carbon is doubled, then value of Kc will be, Kc value is unaffected by concentration, so it will remain unaffected, because if you will double the concentration of reactant, this reaction will start moving in forward direction. After that it will re-establish equilibrium, so Kc value will remain changed. If a reactant will increase, more product will form. So Kc value is unaffected by the concentration. Now number 17, it is found that 0.01 m solution of HCN and acetic acid, the HCN ionizes 0.2% while acetic acid to 5%. Which of the following is correctly interpreted? Now ionization percentages are given, which shows acetic acid can more ionize. So first option is HCN readily donates proton to water. Second option is acetic acid readily donates proton to water. Both donates proton to the same extent. No, the extent is not same because the percentages of ionizations are different. Both are unable to donate proton. So this is the correct answer, because acetic acid will easily donate proton, therefore its ionization percentage is higher than ionization percentage of HCN. So B is the correct answer. Number 18, which of the following salts when dissolved in water will produce a solution with pH greater than 7? pH greater than 7 means solution pH is basic. The salt which is produced from a strong base and weak acid reaction, it will produce a salt with basic aqueous solution. So here we need to find a strong base and weak acid combination. NaCl is produced from NaOH, which is a strong base, and HCl, which is also a strong acid. So this is not the correct answer. Copper sulfate is produced from sulfuric acid, which is a strong acid, so it is not the correct answer. Sodium bicarbonate is produced from sodium hydroxide, which is a strong base, and carbonic acid, which is a weak acid. So this is the salt which is produced by strong base and weak acid neutralization reaction. So whenever this salt will dissolve in water to make aqueous solution, the solution pH will be greater than 7. Number 19. Which of the following species is produced when a proton is added to a base? Bases convert into conjugate acids. So C is the correct answer, a conjugate acid of a base. After accepting proton, base will convert into conjugate acid. Number 20, which of the following occurs when sodium acetate is added to an acetic acid solution? A buffer solution will form, I guess, and let's read the option. Option A is dissociation of acetic acid increase. No, due to common ion effect, acetic acid dissociation will decrease. Concentration of hydrogen ion will increase. No, concentration of acetate ion will increase and hydrogen ion will decrease. Concentration of hydrogen ion will decrease. Yes, this will be the correct answer. When you will add this strong electrolyte in acetic acid, acetate ion concentration will increase and dissociation of acetic acid will decrease. Acetate ion will combine with hydrogen ion and it will reform acetic acid. So due to common ion effect, hydrogen ion concentration will decrease. This will be the correct answer. Okay, question number 21, 22 are related to solution and colloids chapter, which is not in your syllabus this year. This also is not in your syllabus, but you can answer because you have studied this concept in acid base chapter also. In which of the following process does salt react with water and liberate free acid and base? So this is hydrolysis process, where salts react with water and combine with hydronium ion and hydroxyl ion to produce acid and base. Number 24 for a chemical reaction. Oh, 24 is also related to chemical kinetics, so it is not included. 25 also, and 26 is related to electrochemistry. A common zinc cased dry cell used in flashlights uses a carbon rod as a positive terminal and zinc case as a negative terminal. One of the half reaction during discharge is, and the other half reaction will be. This half reaction is representing cathodic reaction or reduction, because electrons have been gained here. So another half reaction must be oxidation reaction or anodic reaction, where electrons must be released. So over here in this reaction only loss of electron or oxidation reaction has been represented. Remaining equations are not showing oxidation reaction, so this is the correct answer. Number 27 is standard reduction potential for Fe plus 2 and Sn plus 2 electrodes are minus 0.44 volt and plus 0.14 volt respectively. The voltage of a cell for will be, in this cell iron is oxidizing and tin is reducing, and reduction potential of both are given. Means you have to take oxidation potential of iron because it has been oxidized in the reaction. Add both the potentials, oxidation potential and reduction potential, you will get the cell potential value. So oxidation potential will be plus 0.44, because minus 0.44 is reduction potential, but iron is oxidizing over here, so you must have to enter plus 0.44. Then you have to add this plus 0.14, keep it as it is because this is reduction potential and tin has been reduced over here. So your answer will be 0.58 volt. This will be the correct answer. This is the cell potential or voltage of the cell. Number 28, the standard reduction potential at 298 for Kelvin for the following half reactions are given below. Which of the following is strongest reducing agent? Now all are reduction potential and these are the values. The substance which has capability to oxidize are strongest reducing agent, and the substance having capability to oxidize will have lowest reduction potential value. So over here lowest reduction potential value is represented by zinc. So zinc has ability to oxidize, not to reduce. So if it can oxidize easily means it is strongest reducing agent. So strongest reducing agent here is zinc. Option A is the correct answer. Number 29, calorimetric method is used for determining the reaction rate by the change in internal energy. Total energy content or internal energy change is measured by using calorimetric method. Number 30, which of the following is the correct representation of heat absorbed at constant volume? QV. QV is equals to delta E. This must be the sign of delta. So this is the correct option. And QP at constant pressure, it is equals to delta H. So this is the correct answer. So this was all about 2011 paper. Hope you understood every question. If you like this video, understood something, please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.